A very good morning to all my dear students. I hope you all are doing really great and you're ready for today's last session for partnership. We have already started the third chapter of Indian Partnership Act, that is registration and dissolution of firm. And today we are going to end the Indian Partnership Act as well. So before we begin the session, quickly tell me how many of you are feeling happy that we have done, that you all have done 3 acts of law, that is Indian Contract Act, sale of goods, and today you're going to complete your partnership also. How is your feeling about this thing? Are you feeling happy? Are you positive that within such a less short span of time, ICAI has really helped you to complete 3 acts sitting at home in front of your laptops and mobiles, you have completed them. A very good morning, Anushka, Sana, Devshri, Ronak, Sejal, Deepak Bhai, Ranjit, Madhu, Avni. Good morning, children. Good morning, all of you. Sanya Khan, good morning. Anush Kumar says, very happy. Yes, ma'am, very happy with great energy. Ranjit Kushwaha. That's great. Sejal, good morning, Ronak, Sejal, and Sana. Good morning, all of you. Vaishnavi, Tambeshwari, Mohammed Fareed, S. Siddhakar, Kinjal. Good morning, children. So that is the kind of energy. See, we feel so happy and positive. So this one tip I want you to remember even once we are done with these classes, never forget my words. Always be happy and positive about whatever part of syllabus you have completed. You have completed few part of economics. Be thankful to God. Be happy that yes, I have done it. Count your positives, children, in the life. मेरा इतना रहता है, अभी हुआ नहीं है, कैसे होगा, कब तक करेंगे, क्लियर नहीं हो पाएगा, इसको यहाँ से पकड़ना है और डस्टबिन. Negative energies should not be part of my CS students. They all have to be geared up, full of positive energy, because we have to remember, as I always keep telling you, the more positive you think about yourself as well as about your studies, the universe also always attracts your positive energy and tries to give you back the same. So always feel happy about the subject. Be sure that yes, I can do it. I keep telling you, I keep reminding you. So today is my last lecture for partnership. I'll be meeting you in Companies Act now. So in between time, I want you to keep these as reminders while you're studying and doing your revision and doing other subjects also, that yes, I can do. इस स्पिरिट को, इस फीलिंग को लो नहीं जाने देना कि yes, I can do. And this is what happens generally with chartered accountant students. You start feeling little shaky, little wavery. Yeah, I don't know how the things will work out, how they're going to happen. So let's not think much about it and let's execute more. So our attention should be more on executing my plan of action. What is that I'm going to do today? How am I going to revise today? Ma'am told me to make a timetable. Have I made a proper timetable? Have I made my schedule of my studies? And the single ticks on your subjects that are getting over gives you a sense of satisfaction. So even one tick, for example, today you have put five schedules you have made. You keep asking me, how to revise, how to do the things. So today I thought I'll give you this motivational spirit that stays with you for a little longer. So suppose मैंने 5 topics सोचे हैं आज. सेल ऑफ गुड्स का, राइट्स ऑफ बायर्स, ब्रीच ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट रिवाइज करना है, इंडियन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट का परफॉर्मेंस रिवाइज करना है, इंडियन पार्टनरशिप का डिसोल्यूशन रिवाइज करना है, एंड इकोनॉमिक्स का एक चैप्टर करना है, एंड स्टैटिस्टिक्स का, और मे बी मैथ्स. Now, at the end of the day, somehow I was able to do 2 of them. So instead of 5 takes, you've just got 2. Instead of worrying why these 3 not happened, let's celebrate these 2 that have happened. Trust me, your energy the next day will be to complete 6 of them tomorrow. So be happy about whatever you do, children. Life is too short to be tensed all the time. There are many tensions yet to come in life. So don't worry just about your CA foundation. It's just a paper. Sky is not going to fall down. It's very easy. It's very simple. The only requirement from our side is you work hard for that. And that is what every field demands. Everyone knows that hard work always pays. So if you're working hard, you are with your tips on your schedule, everything has been done nicely, everything is planned, no one can stop you from rocking the world. All right. So with this note, let's begin our revision that we have planned for today. Yes, thank you, Miss Madhu. Even I am blessed to have students like you. Tambeshwari, Anand Sahu, all of you have written so helpful and happy about completing this. Anand Sahu says, earlier I used to think law is very vast, but now it's totally opposite. Exactly. When you start enjoying your subject, you actually fall in love. That's great, Mr. Prince Kumar. अब लग रहा है लॉ कुछ पढ़ा है पहले डर लगता था सानिया खान दैट्स नाइस गुड लॉ हैज बिकम योर फेवरेट सब्जेक्ट देवश्री वेरी नाइस ऑल राइट पवन मोनू दीपक भाई मिस्टर मंथन शाह मिस सेजल ग्रेट ऑल राइट yes miss ritika it's okay you can refer to the lectures on the recorded lectures as well all right. So, Tambeshwari has a doubt in section 25 and section 29. So, Tambeshwari, you can ask what you have not understood in these respective sections, and we will be answering you the same. Now, before we proceed ahead, let's have a quick revision. So, do you remember what all we have done in the previous class? We will not go to chapter 2 now because we have revised chapter 2 also very nicely. We have already started chapter number 3. So what do you understand by registration of firm? My question to all of you. Let me see how well my students have revised and such happy comments they have written about the studies. So I'm 100% sure that they have revised it. So what do you understand by registration of firm? Do you think it's compulsory? So section 58 has taught us that all these things have to be filed with the registrar of firms and the registration of firm happens. But is it compulsory or it is optional? What do you say? We have to get the registration of firm done for sure. Don't worry, Miss Ashnika Gupta. You can revise the previous also. Very good. Madhu is also following this thing of ticking the topic. So that's great. Thank you, Sukanya. Yes, Riti Bharti, I've read all of your messages. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lakshmi. All right, now let's quickly move ahead to the topic. Optional is the correct answer. Excellent. Registration is not compulsory. So wonderful answers you have given. Mr. Ayush Raj, that's great. All right. Thank you, Akansha. Thank you, Sakshi. So registration of firm is optional. That is the correct answer. It is not compulsory. Now listen to me very carefully. Were there 4 benefits that I have told you? Yes, ma'am, you taught us under section 69. 4 benefits are given to the firm if it is a registered firm. So let me just open a whiteboard for all of you. Okay. Okay, it is being used by someone else. So what we have learned is that, for example, there is a firm. Okay, when do you get the registration certificate? Once the registrar is satisfied, all the provisions have been compiled with, then he records an entry in the register, and this entry, after it has been made, you get your registration certificate. And it is said that race registration is now complete. Remember, we saw the question in June 2023, 6 marks का registration का question भी आया हुआ था, तो ये सारे points आपने लिखने हैं and explain करने हैं. Now the consequences of non-registration. Suppose there is a firm ABC Associates. There is a firm ABC Associates and they have made certain purchases from the supplier Mr. E. And the firm had to pay 10,000 rupees for this. We all agree the principle of mutual agency. A is also liable, B is also liable, C is also liable. This is what we have understood. All the partners are liable to third parties. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely correct. But the firm fails to pay 10,000 rupees to Mr. E. And this firm is unregistered firm. You just now told me, ma'am, it is not compulsory to get the registration. So ABC Associates are just doing the business without registration, which is absolutely fine. My question to my class is, can E, the supplier, file an action against ABC Associates for recovery of 10,000 rupees? Yes or no? Can E file an action against ABC Associates, or he cannot file because the firm is not registered? What is the correct answer for this one? Miss Money, I hope you have understood. Mr. Omkar, that's wonderful. Great. He can file a suit. Mohammed Farhan, correct. Yes, he can. Anushka, Abhishek, Anuj, Sakshi, great. Why he can file a suit? Yes, Nancy. I can't read your option answer. Optional, that's correct one, the first one. Why you can file a suit? Because third party can always file an action against you. Third party can always file an action against you, even if the firm is not a registered firm. Is that clear? All of you have given the correct answer. And Mr. Omkar, I have definitely read your comment. That's wonderful. Great. Yes, the firm can be sued even if it is unregistered. ABC couldn't sue. Okay, Mr. Abdul, that is a separate question. Let me come on that as well. As of now, I was simply asking if E can file a suit. So E can file a suit even if the firm is not registered is the correct answer. Mr. Tanishk, Kavita, Sana, Jamadar, Prince, Priyanka, Sania, Tushar, Sagufta, Preeti, Anuj, Tambeshwari, Ronak. All of you have given the correct answer. Mr. Sarish, Riti, S. Sudhakar, Anushka Raj, K. Manish, Rishita, Suraj, Ranjit, all of you. My God, so great. Very well studied. Yes, Nancy, that's the correct answer. Now, my next question of revision to all of you is, these partners are always having a fight among each other. And A said, I am going to file a case against B and C. Can A file a case against partners B and C? Yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am, and why, ma'am? Mr. Ariharan, this is what we are doing right now. The disadvantages of registration. These are the 4 disadvantages. If you're not registered, you will not get these kind of benefits. Okay. No, ma'am, A cannot file because we have studied that no relief has been given to partners. A partner cannot file an action against the other partner. This is with respect to third point. Okay, Mr. Abdul, that's correct. So no one can file a case against each other. Miss Hinik Kumari Mistry saying yes, so that is incorrect answer. So no was the correct answer because neither the partners can file an action against each other. Can ABC Associates file a case against Mr. E? Even he cannot, even the firm cannot file a case against the third party. Not the co-partners can file a case against each other. Why? Because if the firm is not registered, the benefit of filing a case has not been given to the partners. Mr. Omkar, Mangal Peli, we'll do this around when the class is going to wind up. Again, we will have this motivational discussion. As of now, we have to, the only thing is that we are short of time and we have to complete the syllabus also. Okay. So we'll definitely discuss this topic, what you have written at the towards the end as well. And I'm glad that you enjoyed such kind of motivation. That is what a CA students always look forward to. So well done. Yes, no suit can be filed is the correct answer. And the correct answer for the third question also, no, he cannot file a suit. Miss Preeti Singh has already answered the next question, which I'm going to ask. So can the partners ask for dissolution of firm and realization of property? Definitely, yes. Although they cannot file a case against each other, but yeah, I will pay 1,000 and then I will recover the later money. I cannot claim any set off of the claims cannot be done if the firm is not registered. Was there any exception to this rule? How much amount is allowed for exception for setting of claims? Okay, Mohammed, we will discuss expulsion of partner also. You can ask a specific doubt in section 33 if any. So no relief has been given. The only exception is up till rupees 100, the setting of claim can be done, but not beyond this. And the fourth one was third party, जो आपने मुझे आते ही आंसर करा, E can take an action, so third party can definitely file an action against the firm, even if it is not a registered firm. All right. So now, Mohammed, you were thinking of this and it is here in front of you, partner by holding out. Okay, you were asking about expulsion. Okay, we have a question from chapter number 1. So let's quickly test your knowledge. Yes, Mr. K. Manish Darshan, they can ask for dissolution, even if the firm is not registered. That's great. Good, good, good. All of you have given 100 rupees वाला आंसर, वो भी ठीक है सबका. अब फटाफट से मुझे टेस्ट योर नॉलेज. First question answer कर दो, because we have to do dissolution also today and we have to complete one another question paper I'm going to revise with you after the break as well. Okay, so let's try to finish off the syllabus also and let's have a quick revision also along with that. So partner by holding out is declared according to the express agreement between the partners, or by giving notice in writing to other partners, or with the consent of all other partners, or when he represents himself as a partner, even when he is not a partner. What is the correct option for the partner by holding out? So great answers have been given by each and every student. 1D is the correct answer. I don't know why somebody has written 1C. You never become holding out partner with the consent of other partners. It is only when he is not a partner and he represents himself as a partner. Remember those 3 conditions? When you tell the other person, I'm a partner, although you're not, and the other person has supplied the credit to the firm on that kind of faith, then he is considered to be. Deepak bhai, why are you saying 1C? That is not correct. 1D is the correct answer. Ranjit said B, which is not correct. So all of you जो हमारे साथ यहाँ पर हैं अभी तक, around 250 answers I have got. That is 1D. Wonderful, great. All right. So now let's proceed to the second question. A, B, C and Associates is an unregistered firm. It cannot claim set on, set off, set on and set off, or none of the above. What is not allowed to the unregistered firm? Mr. Harsh Kumar, Renuka, all of you have given the correct answer. Prince, good. Yes, Mr. Sheikh, that's correct. Anand Sahu, Abdul, good. The second, B is the correct answer. You all know this. It's very simple. He cannot claim set off. है ना? हमने अभी कराई है 100 rupees तक allowed है. Otherwise, unregistered firm cannot claim the set off. All right. As per the accepted view, the registration of firm is considered to be complete. Now it says if you're getting yourself registered, when is the registration set to be complete? Number 1, complete application has been filed with the registrar. Registrar files the statement and makes the entry in the register of firms. Registrar gives the notice of registration to all the partners, or when the court records the statement and certifies the entries in register of firms. So when is the registration of firm set to be complete? Out of these 4, you have to choose which is the correct answer. So read it very carefully. It is a bit tricky question, but if you have revised, you'll be able to answer it. Yes, Ms. Ritika, you will have to look into the previous lecture also. You can see it on YouTube. And otherwise, you can attend today's lecture. You will understand when you go through the previous one. Okay, Ritika, I've read, I've answered also. I hope you have heard it. All right, what is the correct answer for the third one? So second B was the correct answer. Now I'm asking for third. So third also you go with the B option. That's wonderful. So registrar files the statement and makes the entry in the register of firms. That is when is the registration of certificate set to be complete. Nitya, Shri, Suraj and Ranjit and yeah. You three have given wrong answer. Mohammed Sheikh has also given wrong answer. When did I taught you that registrar is going to give notice? This has nothing to do. It was just to confuse you. Registrar will never give you notice. He will just make an entry in the register of forms and then the registration is set to be complete. You want to see where it is written in the chapter where we have read section 59? So here it is written, when an entry is made in the register of firms and file the statement, then he issues the registration certificate. So that is how the registration procedure, that's why I have bolded it over here, because making an entry in the register of forms is something which helps to complete the registration process. ऑलराइट अब रजिस्ट्रेशन कभी नहीं भूलोगे आप, और ये तो आपने मुझे क्लास ज्वाइन करते ही बता दिया था कि रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ द फॉर्म इज ओकेजनल, ऑप्शनल, नॉट कंपल्सरी. Okay, now this is very interesting. Something related to your chapter 2. Reconstitution of the firm takes place on admission of a partner, or on retirement of a partner, or on death or expulsion of a partner, or we can say all of the above. What is the correct answer for the fifth one? Hemlata, third ka B answer correct tha. A is not the correct answer. So fifth, so Rani Prasad, when you have sent the application to the registrar, he will be satisfied whether you have done all the points correctly, and after that he makes an entry in the register of forms. By filing an application, you have just complied with the provisions. The process has to be done by the registrar. All of the above is the correct answer. Miss Anushka Raj, Ranjit, Tanishk, Ayush Raj, Punita, Ayasha, Ayesha Shana, Pavan, Khushi, Soumya, Bhuvan, Tambeshwari, Deepak Bhai. I can read so many new names today. Mr. Vishwanath Lodi, Adnan, Sakshi, Anand Sahu. Good, all of you have answered the correct one. And I'm super glad that we have so many students with us who are doing the quiz also so nicely and understanding the concept. Yes, Akansha Shukla, all your answers are visible. Don't worry. I generally try to take the names of those who are giving wrong answers so that they understand what is the correct answer. Otherwise, if I'm not taking your names, that means you have sent the correct answer. All right, Utkarsh Renuka, D is the correct answer. Good. Ma'am, can you please explain registration section 59 in the ICAI book, please? Okay, Nityeshri. Once we go to the study material, I will explain you from there as well. All right. So now, somebody was asking in the morning about expulsion. So this question will help you to understand, and a quick revision of expulsion will also be done. A and B are the partners in a firm, and wife of A and B had a fight in the club, and B was expelled from the partnership on that basis. Is this expulsion justified? Yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am, and why, ma'am? Question number 6 is very important. It's a quick revision of topic expulsion of partnership. So I would request you. Yes, Anuj Madhu, all of your answers were correct. Don't worry. Now pay attention over here. Now you have to answer me, not simply yes and no. You have to give me the reasons. If you say yes, the expulsion is correct, then why? What were the 3 conditions that you need to see? And if it is no, what has not been fulfilled? So I want a detailed answer on this question. How would you like to attempt this question if the examiner gives you? So this will help you to revise your topic of expulsion also, and will help you to understand. No, ma'am, no, ma'am, no, ma'am, no, ma'am is the correct answer. So no is the correct answer. Wonderful. So we all know no is the correct answer. So why it is not correct? Because 3 points that we had to see. Number 1, the expulsion should be in the interest of partnership. The wives are having a fight. Is there anything to do with the partnership business? No, it is not. Number 2, what should be the reason? It should be have been exercised in good faith. In the interest of partnership and good faith, they are one and the same thing. Point number 2 is a notice in writing should have been served, children. You forgot about the notice? Mr. Abdul, good. Notice has to be served in writing. And point number 3, an opportunity of being heard has to be given. So expulsion is a very, very harsh term. I told you last time also. So expulsion of partnership can be done only if these 3 points are satisfied. First, you have to write these 3 points that there should be an express agreement about expulsion. Expulsion should be done in good faith only if it is necessary and majority of the partners are agreeing. पहले जो एक्सपल्शन की डेफिनेशन है, जो 3 कंडीशन पहले दी हुई है, पहले आप वो लिखोगे एग्जाम में कि गुड फेथ में होनी चाहिए, मेजोरिटी एक्सरसाइज करेगी एंड there should be an express agreement. And after that, if these 3 conditions are satisfied, there was an express agreement, means हमने agreement में partnership deed में लिखा हुआ था कि partner को expel कर सकते हैं. Majority of the partners ने agree कर लिया. And वो firm की good faith के लिए है. Good faith means it is for the trust of the firm. Then we will exercise this expulsion provided it is in trust of partnership, notice has been served, and Mr. B was given the opportunity to be heard. Then only it will be justified. If all these 3 points are absent, then no, ma'am, is the correct answer. I could have said yes also by saying that if it is in the interest, if it is in the good faith, notice was given, and opportunity of heard was given, then it would have been yes. So my question was silent, whether I have served or not. So now you chartered accountants, you being the lawyers of the future generation, you have to justify your answer on the basis of reasoning, children. Please don't write in the exam yes or no. You have to give the explanations as well why you have chosen this point of view. All right. So wonderful answers have been given by all of you. Yes, we only have to. I hope now, Mr. Sheikh, it is clear for expulsion. Good, Anuj Kumar, all MCQs. Everyone has given the right answers for the MCQs. So that's wonderful, all of you. So I hope no more doubts in chapter number, second chapter as well. And section 25 and 29, somebody was asking at the end of the lecture, please ask your doubts specifically again. Section 33, again, we have revised expulsion. Okay, we still have 2 more MCQs. Chalo kar lete hain फटाफट से revise. Minor as a partner can be held liable to outsiders. Yes or no? चलो minor भी revise हो जाएगा. Okay, Anushka Raj is asking some of the names cannot be used. So if such names, Royal, King, Empress, if you're trying to use such names, then the government approval has to be taken. If you have taken the approval from the state government, respective government of your state, then you can use such kind of names. Otherwise, you cannot. No, ma'am, is the correct answer for 7th one. And if he becomes a major and he chooses to be a partner, then will he be liable to outsiders? Okay. Tell me. You have given the correct answer for this one. Today, it's no, minor is never liable for the personal liability to the outsiders. But once he becomes a major and he chooses to be a partner in your firm, then yes, ma'am, he becomes liable with the retrospective effect, means from the date of joining the partnership firm, he will become liable to outsiders. Remember? His share is only profits. Yes, only 12. His share he's liable, not beyond that. Deepak Bhai is also writing about public notice. So you remember what happens after becoming major. You have to give a public notice of becoming a partner or not to become a partner. So great. And what is the time period for giving the public notice? I think we have revised this in the previous class. 6 months is the time period for giving the public notice. Now let's move to the last leg of this topic and this chapter, and this will end our partnership. So we started a partnership with sale of goods, and now we're going to end our partnership today with section 39, that is discontinuance of partnership between the partners of the firm. So the way we're going to end the session today, we're going to end the topic is also related to that, dissolution, winding up, closing of the partnership business. Yes, Mohammed Sheikh, you have to certify the date of his birth with the majority date. That's correct. Now let's move to the topic of dissolution, discontinuance of partnership. So dissolution of firm is broader than dissolution of partnership. There are two different terms, dissolution of partnership and one is dissolution of firm. Can you see these partners A and B showing back to each other? Now they're saying goodbye, we are going, bye bye कर रहे हैं, हम अपनी partnership खत्म कर रहे हैं. Now we don't have any kind of trust, faith, and mutual confidence. I can't do the business with you. So if you can see the puzzle picture that I have shown you over here, it has cracked from between. So the floor that we have shown, it has cracked. That means everybody is pinpointing to each other. Everybody has started blaming. If such kind of things are happening in your partnership firm, then it is better to wind it up. Winding up means you should bring your partnership to an end. You should close your partnership. And that legal term for ending and closing of partnership is known as dissolution of the firm. Dissolve kar do, isko band kar do. So if all the partners have started fighting, quarreling, and such kind of differences have occurred, then discontinuance has to happen between all the partners of the firm. That is dissolution of the firm. But if only a partner has been admitted in a firm, then it will be a different story. So dissolution of firm is different. Dissolution of partnership is different. Can anyone tell me how dissolution of partnership is different? मैं तो बता ही दूंगी आपको. Yes, dissolution of chapter with the dissolution of firm. That's great. होता है जब सारे एसेट्स भेज देते हैं. Okay, Anush Kumar, that's great. Thank you, Renuka. Miss Renuka says we like the PPT's photographs because it helps you to clear the concepts. That's great. Deed, Anand Sahu, क्या लिख रहे हो आप? Deed regeneration. Okay, you are saying about the reconstitution of the firm. So what is the difference? Can we say that the dissolution of partnership is same as dissolution of firm? The answer is no. Why? Because in partnership, it is not affecting the continuation of the business. Yes, wonderful. In dissolution of firm, whole of the partnership comes to an end. The business is ending. Here you can say the business is put to an end. But here the business still continues. Only the partnership is changing. Some partner might be joining the firm, some partner might be retiring the firm. In such cases, dissolution of partnership happens. Now, my question to all of you is, there is a firm ABC Associates and Mr. D joins the firm. Is it dissolution of firm or dissolution of partnership that existed between A and B? So ABC Associates were a firm, Mr. D has now joined. So earlier there were three partners, now it has become four. So three firms have to be dissolved. So what will be it called? Dissolution of firm or dissolution of partnership? What will you call it? It is known as dissolution of partnership because only the reconstitution has happened. The partners, those who were doing business with the firm, have now changed. Very good. That is dissolution of partnership. Excellent. Ariharan says it is also known as reconstitution. In fact, many of you have said, so that is the correct term. In case of partnership is getting dissolved, we use the word reconstituted. So पहले तीन partners थे, अब D भी आ गया, तो new partners have joined. So it is a reconstituted firm. Dissolution of firm involves the winding up of the firm. Winding up means whole of the assets will be realized, liabilities will be settled, all of the business is coming to an end. So होता क्या है जब firm end हो रही है, suppose ABC Associates is now getting end, all the assets of the firm will be sold off and liabilities will be paid. That is why realization account is made. But in dissolution of partnership, we make revaluation of assets and liabilities. So our valuation of assets and liabilities was 10,000 or maybe 10 lakhs when we started the partnership. Now Mr. D has joined. Now assets and liabilities have to be revalued again. So he has bought in certain assets, some liabilities have been paid off, revaluation is done. However, when the firm is closing, we have to sell off all the assets of the firm and pay off the liabilities. A firm may be dissolved by the order of court. कह रहे बिजनेस बंद करने के लिए कोर्ट भी इंटरफेयर कर सकता है, बट आपस में पार्टनरशिप डिसॉल्व करने के लिए कोर्ट की इंटरफेरेंस नहीं है. Dissolution, have you ever heard that court is sending an order that please make D join your firm, otherwise you end the firm? Or B is retiring, so court will send a notice, okay, B is retiring. It happens on, remember now, on the consent of all the parties. If I'm admitting, all the partners will consent, you can admit. Even the minor can be admitted with the consent of all partners. Court has nothing to do with your dissolution of partnership. But where is it? It is a firm which is always fighting. It is having a case against each other. They're not liking each other. They're very rude. They're doing fraud. Then court can ask for the dissolution. Dissolution orders can be sent by the court to the entire firm, but not between the dissolution of partnership. Court will never interfere. So this line means it necessarily involves dissolution of partnership. When firm is dissolving, partnership will definitely come to it. But here where partners are joining, going in, death is happening, it may or it may not involve. It is not necessary to close the firm. You can still continue the business and you can add the new partner in the firm. I have to do one very important case study also on registration of firm from the study material. So just remind me, we should not skip that. It's very important case study. So here it involves the final closure of books of accounts, and here it is not involving the final closure. The books will still continue. Firm का dissolution, सब कुछ खत्म. Everything comes to an end. अपने simple शब्दों में लिख लेना. Everything comes to an end related to business. However, here only changes in the partnership. Here the changes are only in the partners. All right, clear है? आता है आप सबको, अपने 11th-12th में भी पढ़ा है and CA Foundation Accounts में भी पढ़ा है इसके बारे में. Now let's see what are the modes of dissolution, how the firm actually gets dissolved. I just now told you that court can also pass the orders for dissolution. So there are two types of dissolution. 40 to 43 says without the order of court, where court is not telling, but somehow some reasons are there that the firm gets dissolved. But section 44 specifically deals where the court passes the order for the dissolution of the firm. So these are the 5 cases how the dissolution happens: section 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. And it is given all section wise. You have to learn the sections. Again, my answer remains the same, not compulsory, but never write a wrong section in the exam. So first, section 40 tells you dissolution by agreement. So when does the dissolution happens by? It says the firm was formed by agreement. We can dissolve it also by a contract between the parties. Dissolution can be inferred also from the circumstances like closure of the business or final account. So we formed an agreement, we made a partnership deed, ABC will be the partners and all the partners were happily doing the business. And now we want to dissolve, they take the consent of all the partners, okay, we'll make an agreement that we are dissolving the firm. So as per the terms and conditions, whatever we decide, final accounts will be closed, the books of accounts will be closed, and agreement, through an agreement, dissolution of partnership will happen. So the first type of basic dissolution is that the firm can be dissolved by making a contract between the parties. Now, second type of dissolution is very interesting. It says compulsory dissolution. First में तो हमने अपनी choice पे agreement करा, notice दिया and dissolve कर. In the second case, section 41 tells you that it is very important, it has become necessary to dissolve, to close the business. When does it happen? If the business has become unlawful, or the partnership that you were running among yourself, it has become illegal, it has become unlawful. So for example, there was a firm, PQR Associates, and they were doing business of trading in a particular type of chemical. So they were pharmaceutical company. This is real example where pharmaceutical company was running huge business in partnership. And particularly a drug which they put in the medicine has been banned by the government. Now, since the drug, that the chemical that they were using in their business, that has been banned by the government, so you cannot do that business. So you have to dissolve that business. Now, many of you will ask me, ma'am, then फिर उन्होंने business बंद कर दिया, कुछ नहीं करा, तो कोई और business कर लेंगे. But वो partnership तो compulsorily dissolve हो जाएगी ना. Why? Because now it has become unlawful. अगर आप government ने ban कर दिया, फिर भी वो business करते जा रहे हो, तो illegal हो जाएगा ना, unlawful हो जाएगा. So the firm will have to be compulsorily dissolved. उस फॉर्म को आपको बंद करना पड़ेगा अगर कोई ऐसा इवेंट हो गया है जिसकी वजह से वो पार्टनरशिप अनलॉफुल हो गई है, इलीगल. Is that clear? Compulsory dissolution. We will read each and every point from the study material also, so don't worry at all. First, let me just complete the points from here. Now, dissolution on the basis of certain contingencies. Contingencies का meaning लिख लो, emergencies. कंटिजेंट हो जाना, इमरजेंसी कुछ ऐसी आ गई है कि अब हमें बिजनेस बंद करना पड़ेगा. सो इसका भी बड़ा इजी तरीका है लर्न करने का. फर्स्ट राइट डाउन द वर्ड्स फिक्स्ड पार्टनरशिप, पर्टिकुलर पार्टनरशिप. याद है कुछ क्या होता था फिक्स्ड पार्टनरशिप, पर्टिकुलर पार्टनरशिप, डेथ ऑफ अ पार्टनर एंड इंसॉल्वेंसी ऑफ अ पार्टनर. वेरी वेरी सिंपल. सेक्शन 42. इन 4 केसेस में सेक्शन 42 में डिसोल्यूशन करना ही पड़ेगा. If you had a partnership to do the partnership for 5 years, 5 years have ended, it has come to an end. So the partnership firm will come to an end. It was a fixed partnership. The term has expired. It will come to an end. We have decided to put an exhibition in Delhi in Rajouri Garden for 1.5 days. 1.5 days over, this particular venture has ended. The partnership will come to an end. It will get dissolved. One of the partner has died. It's better to dissolve the entire firm and make a new firm. Unless contrary contract means again agreement की beauty. हमने डिसाइड करा था कि हमें कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, डेथ ऑफ पार्टनर से भी हम कंटिन्यू करते रहेंगे, फिर कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. Then you can still continue. But if there is no contract subject to this, then one of the partner has died, the business will close. By adjudication of a partner as an insolvent, if a partner has been declared insolvent, then also the dissolution of firm will happen. So if examiner asks you what are the 4 bases on the basis of contingency where the partnership will be dissolved, fixed partnership, particular partnership, death of a partner, insolvency. खत्म. 4 points लिखा ना, explain कर देना, marks मिल जाएंगे. And the 4th one is dissolution by notice in writing. What is partnership at will? You remember? Fixed partnership भी मैम रिवाइज हो गया, particular partnership भी हो गया. अब हम partnership at will भी याद कर लेते हैं. I told Mr. Anand Sahu, I want to be a partner with you. Let's start the partnership business of sale and purchase of scooters. And Anushka Raj also joined. So Harleen ma'am, Anand Sahu and Anushka Raj, they have started the partnership. And we said, Anushka Raj said, ma'am, for how long we will be running this partnership? We said, okay, let's see the time till the bonding goes well, we will run this partnership. So such kind of partnership arrangement where we have not fixed any period, which is not for a particular purpose, it's just a general partnership and no timing has been determined. Such kind of partnership is known as partnership at will. It is as per our choice. We have decided we will continue till the time we have a good bond. And if we don't feel comfortable, we will end the partnership. Now, how this partnership which Harleen ma'am, Anand Sahu and Anushka Raj has formed, how will it come to an end? How will the dissolution happen? It says number 1 point is any partner can communicate his intention of dissolving the firm. Now, Mr. Anand Sahu said, I am not very comfortable in doing business with Harleen and Anushka. I want to end the partnership. So what will he do? He will simply send a notice of dissolution. He has sent this notice on 27th February to us that, look, ma'am, I'm not comfortable in doing the business with you. On 27th February 2024, Anand Sahu sends us a notice saying that let's dissolve the firm on 29th February. I think it's a leap year this time. So 29th February, Lilith. 24 is divisible by 4, so it is leap year. So 29th February, he said we will dissolve the firm. Now, when will the firm be dissolved? It says the date of dissolution will be the date which is mentioned in the notice. So the firm will get dissolved on 29th February 2024, because the partner has sent the notice on 27th February and he has written the date that the firm should get dissolved on this date. So in case of partnership at will, simply you have to send a notice in writing to other partners that we want to dissolve the firm. And if Mr. Anand Sahu has not given any date in the certificate, if he has not mentioned any date, then 27th February, the date on which the notice has been sent, will be considered to be the date of dissolution of the firm. So firm has to be dissolved on 27th February itself. So तीन बातें याद रखने वाली. Number one, partnership at will में notice in writing has to be sent for dissolution. The notice should mention the date of dissolution. If no date has been given, then the date on which the notice was given will be the date of dissolution. Is that clear? Okay. Now I give you 5 minutes break. Whatever we have done till now, dissolution, the 4 points, just read from the study material, and then we will start doing the topic further from the study material. We will complete that registration of certificate wala case study, and then we will complete the balance chapter of dissolution. And after that, we will move on to your doubts, if any, from the previous chapters, and we will try to complete one descriptive case study question paper as well. All right, so let's take a small break here. All right. Welcome back, students. Sub partner में second doubt है. Okay, Miss Tambeshwari, once we will be done with this chapter, I am going to go on the topic of descriptive questions. I have marked few questions for you, and that is entirely on section 29, so we will do it in detail. Also, section 25, you're asking where one partner is liable. It specifically tries to tell you if any misapplication of funds have happened or any wrongful acts done by the partners, generally on the principle of mutual agency, all of the partners become liable. But in case of any fraud that they have done, only that particular partner or that respective firm will not be responsible. Only that particular partner will be held liable. All right. All right. So now let's move ahead. I hope you all have read about the points of dissolution that I told you. And now let's quickly cover this case study, which I think you have not yet done with me. Example number 1 from your study material. Yes, section 40, 41, and 43 from the study also Sanya and Anushka Raj we'll be doing. What if the firm does not dissolve on the given date? So, Miss Rishita, if the firm is not dissolving, that is what they're trying to tell you, that it is partnership at will. So, if it was as per choice, if for example we decided fixed partnership 5 years, now if we decide to continue, then it becomes partnership at will. Now, if I've sent you a notice in writing that you have to dissolve, then it becomes compulsory for you to put an end to that partnership because the other person is not willing to do partnership with you. So, for example, if there are only two people, so if one has already sent the notice, he's end. So anyways, the partnership will come to an end because one single person will be considered as a sole proprietor. So if you feel that you can continue that business as a sole proprietor, then the form of organization in itself will change. Now let's read this. A&, Company is registered as partnership firm in 2017. With A, B, and C are the partners. In 2018, A died. So what happened when A died was B and C file a suit against X. Who is X over here? X is a third party. Who is Mr. X? Mr. X is held as a third party. So he filed an action without any fresh registration. Now, children, you have to answer me without reading the answer. Do you think that B and C can take an action? Number one hidden point over here is it is a registered firm. So when the firm is registered, then A&, Company can take an action against the third party, that is Mr. X. But what is the twist over here? One of the partner A has died. So can the balance partners B and C still file an action against the third party? If yes, then why? Okay, Nityasri. Why do you think they can file an action? Thank you so much, Ashnika Gupta. I'm glad you understand with the help of examples. That's great. Yes, they can file a case. So that's wonderful answer all of you have given. So why do they can file a case? Because the firm was already a registered firm. And if one of the partner has died, then also it will not make a major difference because the firm's partners who are filing a suit, their name has already been registered. Yes, Mr. Ranjit Kushwaha, if any such kind of amendment has been brought in by the government, then the government can stop and the partnership which has been already existing, it will become unlawful. Okay, Mr. Suraj, when we go to section 42, remind me of your doubts. As of now, let's quickly complete this topic of registration question as well. Okay. Yes, ma'am, he can file. So yes is the correct answer. So Gupta, you have given the wrong answer. So no would be the case in the another example, which I'm going to ask you. So yes was the correct answer. Why? Because in the registered firm, the partner's name are already over there. So it will not affect. They can file a case against the third party. अब लाते हैं कहानी में ट्विस्ट. कहानी में कब आएगा? जब हम सेकेंड पॉइंट पे जाएंगे. ये सारा वही है आंसर जो आपने मुझे बताया है. सेम आंसर हैज बीन रिटन, सो यू कैन रीड इट आउट. What difference will it make if in 2019 B and C has taken a new partner, Mr. D? Then can they file against action against X without fresh registration? Now tell me the correct answer. Now can you file an action? You have admitted a new partner. Is his name appearing in the registration certificate? Can you file an action with Mr. D? Yes or no? No, ma'am. Why? Because now you need a fresh registration. Miss हितेश भाई, हिंदी में एक्सप्लेन कर दो. हिंदी में इसका मतलब ये होता है कि जब जिन पार्टनर्स का रजिस्ट्रेशन सर्टिफिकेट पे नाम है वही लोग थर्ड पार्टी के अगेंस्ट एक्शन ले सकते हैं. अब आपने नया पार्टनर ज्वाइन कराया मिस्टर डी, एंड आपने रजिस्ट्रेशन सर्टिफिकेट तो लिया ही नहीं फ्रेश वाला. तो अगर आपने फ्रेश रजिस्ट्रेशन सर्टिफिकेट नहीं लिया तो आप थर्ड पार्टी के अगेंस्ट एक्शन नहीं ले सकते. आपको उसके लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा? आपको रजिस्टर ऑफ फॉर्म्स को बताना पड़ेगा, रिक्वायरमेंट फेस करनी पड़ेगी कि डी ने भी हमारे साथ पार्टनरशिप ज्वाइन करी है, उसका नोटिस देना पड़ेगा एंट्री के लिए. एक्सेलेंट आंसर्स गिवन बाय ऋषिता, सूरज, अनुज, आनंद साहू, मधु, देवीश्री, अश्निका, रानी प्रसाद, सौम्या, साक्षी, मोत्यानी, तंबेश्वरी, अंजलि, प्रीति. गुड, ऑल ऑफ यू हैव गिवन द करेक्ट आंसर. मिस्टर के मनीष, प्रियंका, प्रीति, मधु, all of you have given it nicely. That means now my students have understood a new partner has joined in. Record has to be made in the entry of register of forms. Therefore, since his name was not entered, he has not fulfilled the requirement of the person suing, means person whose names appear in the register of members. Therefore, his name has to be filed with the register of forms. Then only he can take an action against the third party. Okay, but here in case of a death of a partner, remember, no notice is required to be given. The partner has died, remaining partners are doing the forms, then that there's no requirement. The second point is already fulfilled because suit can be filed on behalf of the firm which is registered. And also the person suing B and C, their name was appearing, so it is maintainable. But in the second question, it is not maintainable. So this example number 1 is a very important case study. Twice the question has come in the exam as it is. ऐसा ही क्वेश्चन एग्जाम में आया और इसको ध्यान से पढ़ना है आपने क्लास के बाद, इसको लिख कर देखना है, नोट्स बनाकर इसका आंसर लिखना है. नाउ somebody was asking about section 59. क्या नहीं समझ आया बेटा? सेक्शन 59 हमने यहाँ से भी पढ़ा था, ये सारा पॉइंट क्लियर है आपको. एप्लीकेशन में हमने ये सब फाइल करना है. नेम्स में वो सिंपल चीज ये बोल रहा है कि क्राउन, एम्परर, एम्प्रेस, इंपीरियल, ये सब चीजें नाम में नहीं होनी चाहिए. अगर आप रॉयल नाम इंक्लूड कर रहे हो, देन स्टेट गवर्नमेंट अप्रूवल हैज टू बी टेकन, देन ओनली बाय इन ऑर्डर इन राइटिंग. राइटिंग में आप गवर्नमेंट का अप्रूवल लेंगे तभी आप ये वाली चीजें अपने नेम ऑफ फॉर्म में ऐड कर सकते हैं. Section 59 simply All right, welcome back, students. I think there was a technical glitch in between. I hope now you can hear me nicely. And I don't know, I was just continuously speaking about the topic. So I hope you have understood about the previous thing that we were discussing. So these kind of contingencies do happen at times. All right. So let us move to the topic that we were discussing quickly. So I was just talking about this registration. I hope now it is very much clear. Let's move to the topic of dissolution. We have also done the dissolution of firm and partnership differences. Somebody was asking, is it important to learn the points of differences? Yes, definitely. You should learn this simple 5 points. You should learn them. सेक्शन 42 सेकंड पॉइंट किसी ने पूछा हुआ डाउट में, बट उससे पहले मुझे ये बताओ, ये आपको एग्जांपल समझ आ गया? केमिकल, हाँ, somebody was asking, I was answering this example, that if any particular chemical that you are trading and it has been banned, then yes, no longer the firm can continue, government can take an action against you. The second point, it is not clear, section 42, somebody has asked, the firm is constituted to carry out one or more ventures or undertaking, means once that venture has been completed, the partnership will be dissolved. You are continuing and making it into partnership at will, that is your choice. But that particular partnership will come to an end. That means this is a compulsory dissolution. Compulsory dissolution will happen if you have dissolved if you have ended the particular venture. This is exactly a particular partnership. Refer chapter number 1, particular partnership. मेरा lecture सुन लेना, वहां पे समझ आ जाएगा आपको क्या पढ़ा था हमने. ठीक है, अब फटाफट से चलते हैं. Section 44, dissolution by the court. Now, what happened? I told you in the beginning of the session that at times court can also send a notice for your dissolving the firm. When the court is going to dissolve your firm, number one, insanity or unsound mind. If any partner has become unsound mind, there were 3 partners. A has severe infection and got typhoid. He was not able to conduct the business for few weeks. Do you think this is a permanent disability? He's just temporary sick. If one of the partner has got viral or typhoid, that means he will rejoin after some time. Na? Then it is not a ground for dissolution. But if partner has become mad, he has gone insane, he is not in his senses, then he can't do business. Then he doesn't have the power to run a business. Then he cannot take decisions. In such a case, it becomes compulsory. The court can interfere and dissolve. Now, how will the court come to know? Court को कोई बताएगा तभी पता लगेगा ना. So the court will dissolve the firm on a suit filed by the other parties or by the next friend of the insane partner. So there were 3 partners, A, B, C, D, 4 partners. A went mad. He has some mental issue. He went mad. So B and C can file a action in the court that please dissolve a firm. We want to dissolve this firm because one of the partner has went mad. But temporary sickness, A simply had a viral. Then you cannot ask for dissolution. He will be joining back once he is fine. Similarly, permanent incapacity. So now there are 3 partners, A, B, C. One of the partner met with an accident and just got a little bit hurt over here. So he will be recovering soon. He'll apply the medicine and after a few days rest, he will come and join. But one of the partner's hand got broken. There is a permanent disability. His hand has been paralyzed. He can't move. His body is paralyzed or his leg has got some problem. So any physical disability or illness which cannot be recovered, then it is a permanent incapacity. Court can say that please dissolve this firm. You cannot run this firm with that particular partner. Alright, तो पहला एंड दूसरा पॉइंट इलनेस से रिलेटेड है. फर्स्ट पॉइंट इज रिलेटेड टू मेंटल इलनेस ऑफ एनी पार्टनर. सेकंड पॉइंट इज फिजिकल इलनेस ऑफ एनी पार्टनर. यहाँ पे छोटा छोटा लिख लेना, शॉर्ट नोट्स बना लिया करो, पेस्टेट्स लगा लिया करो, पोस्टेट्स लगाकर ना अपने स्टडी मटेरियल में स्टिक कर दिया करो. यू नेवर फॉरगेट. सो यहाँ पे पॉइंट नंबर 1 मेंटल इलनेस, पॉइंट नंबर 2 फिजिकल इलनेस. थर्ड इज मिसकंडक्ट. You are doing misconduct in the business and it is affecting the business. For example, misconduct related to the conduct of business. You are not dealing properly with the clients of the business. You are always fighting in carrying on the business. A, B, C, 3 partners. A is always interested in fights. He's not reporting on time. He's not reaching to the client meetings on time. So there is a not conducting the business properly. Misconduct का meaning लिख लेना. One of the partner is not conducting the business, not doing the business properly. Then also the court will say that you can dissolve the firm. Point number 4 is very serious. You need to understand carefully. Persistent breach of agreement. Persistent का मतलब होता है continuously. Persistent means continuously. Continuously breach कर रहे हो. आपको पता है breach धोखा देना. breach kar dena, breaking the promises. So you're continuously breaking the agreements. You have done embezzlement of cash. Cash ke sath her fer kar dena. Partnership firm was having 1 lakh rupees and A just took 15,000 just on his own without telling anyone. Embezzlement, fraud with the cash. You are keeping more cash than allowed. You are making errors in the accounts. You have done wrong entries. So what is the entry for purchases? Purchase to Mr. A. So I have made purchases from Mr. A. So purchases to A or purchases to cash. But you are doing some other entries. You are making cash to A. Okay, you're making wrong entries, errors in accounts. If such kind of things are happening, you're breaking the agreements. You're supposed to do a business in a very systematical way. You're not agreeing to that. Then also the court can ask for the dissolution of the firm. Or you are not showing the accounts on the repeated request. Institute is asking you, or some clients are asking, or the partners are asking for the accounts, and you're hiding the accounts, you're not showing, you're not reporting on time, you're breaching the agreements. For example, there was a rent agreement for 10,000 to pay, started paying 8,500. Whatever agreements you have made, you're continuously breaching it. So it has become not practicable for other partners to do the business with you. We can't do business with you. It has become so difficult. Partnership, I told you, it's like a family bonding that you're doing the business. ये नहीं कि every day now I'll go to the office and first we'll sit and resolve the issues. We are wasting time. So it's very necessary that you should be careful in doing the business. So if one of the partners keeps errors accounts and omits to enter the receipts, अच्छा omit ही कर दिया. Omit means डाला ही नहीं receipts. Continuous quarrels हो रहे. Quarrels means fights between the partners. Then it destroys the mutual confidence of partners. Court will order the dissolution. So if I ask you a quick question, ABC are 3 partners and A and B cannot sit together at all. They always have fights with each other. We can't take them to the client meetings. They always argue with each other. Can we continue with this kind of partnership? Yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am? Yes, Ms. Divya, he can retire, but if still he wants to continue, the firm court will order for the dissolution. Firm cannot do business with this kind of partner. Yes, Mohammed, it exactly means the same. Embezzlement, you're trying to cheat with the organization. You're not keeping the accounts properly. Misappropriation of funds when you're doing, okay, you can write down embezzlement is misappropriation of funds. You're breaking the trust. Okay. No, ma'am, we cannot. It is a persistent breach of agreement. We cannot continue. It's better to dissolve. Very good, Ariharan, Anil, Anush, Divya, Sanya. All of you have written the correct answer. So let's continue further. Transfer of interest. Now, this is again very, very interesting. One was section 29, where you're transferring the interest. Sub partnership is created. वो कहते हैं वो तो ठीक है. But here what we're trying to do is, where partner, other than the partner suing, has transferred whole of his interest in the firm to a third party. So there is one of the partners, listen carefully with the help of an example. There was one of the partner, Mr. A. He had 1/3 of the share of profits in the firm. Now you remember? Okay, all of you have given the correct answers. Well done. Now come back over here. So 1/3 of his share, whole of his 100% interest, he is transferring to anybody else. 50% we were creating sub partnership with the consent of other partners. That was fine. Here it is some other story. He's transferring whole of his share to a certain person, or he wants that the court should sell my share in order to recover the land areas. So there was some property areas. उसने कुछ पैसा देना था property की related land revenue से related उसकी कोई areas चल रहे थे. तो उस Mr. A से government recover करना चाहती है. तो अब गवर्नमेंट कह रही है हमें आपको आपके शेयर में से, कोर्ट के पास आपकी प्रॉपर्टी है तो उस शेयर ऑफ प्रॉफिट्स में से आपका हमें सोल्ड कर पेमेंट करनी है थर्ड पार्टी. तो law says in such a case, court will say, please you dissolve the firm because we want to calculate exact share of profits Mr. A is having so that we can pay the land areas revenue. So if such a kind of arrears of land revenue are due by any of the partners, they need to be paid. Then the other partners can file a suit and resolution will be taken up by the court. All right. Or if the firm is having perpetual losses, perpetual is again continuously. Persistent means regularly, perpetual means continuously. The firm is having a loss in year. Suppose you have started the firm in 2018. You invested 1 lakh rupees and you had a loss of 2.5 lakhs. Then in 2019, you had a loss of 4 lakhs. Then you had a loss of 3 lakhs. Is there any point doing business with this firm? It's better to close it, na? Do something else if you're having a continuous loss and also you're expecting a loss in future also. Then court will order the dissolution. Don't waste your time, money and efforts. It's better to close this business and you can start up anything new. And the last G point is very, very interesting. Just and equitable grounds. First, let me complete all these points. Then I will jump to your doubts. You can feel free to ask me doubts. But let me just complete this first. The court says that there are just and equitable means he finds it faith, he finds it trustworthy to close the firm. Just and equitable. He's saying that it is better to dissolve the firm. What are these cases when there is a deadlock in the management? So let's understand the word deadlock in the management. A says, I want the business to run in my way. B says, no, I don't want this. I want the management to be handled the way I want. And the other partner, C, is not interested in what A and B are saying. He is in his own world. He wants that the management should be done as per my deeds. Now, there is a deadlock in the management. The business, how it has to be run, it is not clarified. All of the partners are having their own say. So it becomes very, very difficult for the firm to conclude how the business have to be done. So law says अगर आपका डेडलॉक आ गया ना मैनेजमेंट में, आपसे मैनेज ही नहीं हो रही है चीजें, आपको पता ही नहीं है कि कैसे मैनेजमेंट करना है, so court will say better you dissolve the firm, close the business. I am finding it just and equitable. It is better, it is justified, reasonable to close the firm. Where the partners are not in talking terms. A is sitting facing this side, B is sitting facing this side. They don't talk to each other. They don't want to see each other. इतनी दुश्मनी है उनमें, तो फिर क्या बिजनेस करना है? कोर्ट बोलेगा बंद कर. Loss of substantrum, loss of trust and faith. Now you know how does it happens? A made a purchase from supplier for rupees 10,000. Mutual agency, B and C will also be liable. Agreed? B is repetitively checking the bills. ए ने गलती तो नहीं करी, ए ठीक सप्लाईज लेकर आया है. सी भी कह रहा है हाँ यार मुझे डाउट आ रहा है, 10,000 का तो नहीं है, ये तो 1,000 का चीज बनती है. शक कर रहे हो आप, फेथ नहीं है आपके ऊपर, ट्रस्ट नहीं है एक दूसरे पर. सो दैट इज नोन एज लॉस ऑफ सबस्टैंट्रम. So that means you have lost faith on each other. You don't have trust on each other. So law says better you close the business. Or the partners are doing gambling on a stock exchange. You have made the partnership firm, but instead of doing business, you are not making money on stock exchange. You're doing kind of a gamble. So if any of such of the activities court feels that it is being involved by the partnership firm, court may dissolve the firm on any of these grounds. Is that clear, all of you? Now, dissolution without the order of court, 40 to 43, all those points, and section 44, insanity, madness, misconduct, permanent incapacity, persistent breach of agreement. You are not following any agreement with the firm that you have made. You are transferring your whole of your share of profits to a third party in order to make the payment to the third party. Your revenue for the land revenue areas have to be paid. There are continuous losses, just an equitable ground. Just an equitable ground may we have just done deadlock in the management, loss of faith and trust, your quarrels between each other, you're not in talking terms, gambling on stock exchange, firm will get dissolved. And what are 40 to 43? By mutual agreement, we have decided to close the firm. Compulsory dissolution, those case of chemical that you have remembered, it has become unlawful to do the business. 42, all those 4 cases, fixed partnership, particular partnership, death and insolvency. And by notice in writing, कौन सी partnership में होता है? Section 43 कब होता है? When partnership is at will. Is that clear? Any doubts till this section? You can ask your doubts. Yes, Anil Yadav, if it is of 5 years and all the part, then also we don't wait for the 5 years to complete. Resolution by court can happen. Nityasri, if the firm is unregistered, it is a fixed partnership for 5 years, and because of misconduct and embezzlement, then what is the resolution? Then the only resolution in misconduct and embezzlement is that you will fall under section 44, where it is strictly written under point number D that any kind of embezzlement, court will dissolve your firm. So that means there is a persistent breach of contract. You have made the agreement that you will not misappropriate the funds. You are misusing the funds of the firm. Your firm will get dissolved. Okay. Ashnika Gupta, deadlock means when the management is in such a hand that it has become a deadlock. There has been a lock between the management. You cannot proceed further. You don't know how to move ahead. Transfer of interest, समझ नहीं आया. Divya, Tambeshwari and all those who are asking, transfer of interest means where I'm transferring my entire interest or share of profits in the partnership in order to make a payment to the third party. So कई बार क्या होता है, गवर्नमेंट का कुछ पैसा आपने पे करना था, तो गवर्नमेंट बोलेगी कि आप हमारा पहले शेयर ऑफ प्रॉफिट्स में से पैसा दे दीजिए. तो कोर्ट बोलता है इस केस में हम पहले फॉर्म डिसॉल्व करेंगे सो दैट द एरियर्स ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट कैन बी पेड ऑफ एंड देन यू कैन कंटिन्यू विद द न्यू फ्रेश फॉर्म. ऑलराइट. सानिया खान, सेक्शन 40 एक्सप्लेन कर दीजिए बेटा. सेक्शन 40 में क्या नहीं समझ आया? सेक्शन 40 इज द सिंपलेस्ट ऑफ ऑल. It simply tells you that partnership was formed with the consent of all the partners. Similarly, you make a contract and you can end the partnership. It says partnership right to the partners to dissolve by agreement with the consent of all the partners according to the contract between the partners. Contract means a contract already made. So we have already written in the agreement, fixed partnership will come to an end after the fixed term. We have already written in the agreement how the partnership will be dissolved. That is what is section 40. So Kanya, I hope persistent breach is now clear that you're not, you're breaking the agreements that you have made with the other parties. 2 example, second can file a complaint on the basis of old registration. Could you please tell? Mr. Harsh, I hope now example number 2 is clear. There the registration, fresh registration, why it has to be taken? Because the new partner has joined the firm. So when new partner is joining the firm, his name has to appear in the register of firms. अनुज कुमार, मैंने अभी दोबारा हिंदी में समझाया ट्रांसफर ऑफ इंटरेस्ट, तो आप पॉज कर वीडियो में दोबारा देख लेंगे तो यूल अंडरस्टैंड. ओके मैम. पॉइंट सी, सानिया खान, पॉइंट सी किसका? सेक्शन 44 का पूछ रहे हो. मिसकंडक्ट. Misconduct means you're not conducting the business properly. You're not doing the business properly. So then it is known as misconduct. That means you are making any errors in doing the business. You're not doing running the things properly. Okay. Okay. Any more doubts? Yes. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mohammed. I'm glad. That is why I like to tell my students, and when they give correct answers, so it makes me also proud. Section 42, explain again. Priyanka, you have to tell me what you have not understood in section 42. Read it carefully. It is very simple, bache. What you have not understood, you can ask me that. Okay, section 42 simply tells you that once the partnership has ended on a fixed term, it will come to an end. Death of a partner, dissolution of the firm. Old partner can file a complaint. No, Mr. Harsh, I told you if his name is appearing in the registration of the firm, if the old firm was registered and the partner's name is there, then yes, he can file a case against the third party. 43 का second point समझा दो, Tambeshwari. Second point, I explained you with example. Miss Tambeshwari, I told you, na, the notice. Okay, Tambeshwari, you and me are partners in partnership at will. I said I want to end this partnership. I want to dissolve it. So what do I have to do? I will have to give you a notice in writing. So all the others also have to answer this one. If I give you the notice in the date that let's dissolve the firm from 5th March, and I have sent this notice on 27th February. So then what date will be considered on the date of dissolution? So me and Tambeshwari, we were in partnership. Harleen ma'am has sent a notice on 27th February 2024 that we want to dissolve the firm. And in the notice, I have given the date 5th of March 2024. Now, what date will be considered for the date of dissolution? Quickly tell me, students. What will be the date? Okay, I'm glad. Sanya, Anuj, everyone, all your doubts are clear. That's great. Okay, Priyanka, I'll just take up that second point. Quickly answer me this one. What court did when the contract 5 years? Anil Yadav, if all the partners are fighting, one of the partner can go and make a suit. Case can be filed in the court that we want to dissolve the firm and firm will be dissolved. 5th March will be the date. That is the correct answer because I've given in the notice. Okay, Tambeshwari, I hope now you have understood. So 5th March is the date which I have given. That will be the date of, will be considered as the date of dissolution. And if I have not given any date, second question is, question number 1 answer is 5th March will be considered as the date of dissolution. And children, if I have not given any kind of date in this notice, then what will be my answer? The second one will be the, for the second question, the answer will be 27th February. Okay, इसको जो मैंने अभी समझाया है यहाँ पे नोट्स में लिख लेना ताकि आपको एग्जाम्पल याद रहे और भूले नहीं. Okay, Priyanka is asking point number 2 in example section 42. So point number 2, earlier also somebody asked, I explained you this point. So again, Miss Priyanka Ronier, you started a partnership with the firm and you said that I'm going to do a particular type of business with you. That is only for a short span of time. Maybe our business was, the time period was not decided, but we said that till the time we will sell all these clothes on the exhibition, till that date, we will continue the partnership. So now, since you have sold all these clothes, your adventure activity undertaking that you have decided to do, that has come to an end. So obviously the firm will get dissolved. Also, those who have not understood section 42 point number 2, please revise particular partnership from chapter 1. That means you have not revised your lessons nicely. Okay, so this is the particular partnership. And good answers given by all of you. 5th March was the correct answer and then 27th. So Gupta, you can send your query again. Yes, that's very correct. Point C and D में difference समझा दीजिए. C and D doesn't have much of the difference. They are related point. Misconduct means you're not doing the business properly. You're not coming regularly. You're not punctual. Anything which is affecting my carrying of the business. Suppose A, B, C with the partners and I had a client meeting with Mr. D. Very important deal has to be fixed. A was absent. Misconduct. Breach of agreement में A ने पैसा खा लिया. Misappropriation of funds कर दिया. Error करे accounts में. So this is kind of examples that you have to remember in all these points. Okay, now let's proceed ahead. So well done. I'm glad all of you have asked your doubts and till section 45, everything is 44, everything is crystal clear. Let us quickly wind up the balance sections and then we have to do certain question paper also. Don't worry, sab ho jayega. Dissolution of partnership. Now, what is consequences of dissolution of partnership? We have these further sections for all of you, which tells you section 45, 46 and 47. वो लिखा हुआ है 45 to 55 है सिर्फ तीन very very simple sections बाकी हमने foundation से cut off कर दिए. You only have to do these 3 sections. So this is something which you all already know in Indian partnership that you have been doing in accounts. वही same कहानी theory में लिखी हुई है यहाँ पे. It says what will be the liability of the partners once you have dissolved the firm. Number 1, you have to protect the third parties dealing with the firm who had no notice of it and to protect the partners towards third liability. So simple answer over here goes with the public notice. Suppose Mr. A has retired from the firm and he has not given the public notice. he will be held liable to the third party. If he has given the public notice, then he will not be held liable to the third parties. इतनी सी बात ये समझा रहा है आपको, इससे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं कह रहा है. X and Y carried on the business for several years. A deed dissolving the partnership was made, but failed to give a public notice of dissolution. So they have made a partnership. On December 1, they decided to dissolve the firm, but failed to give the public notice. Public notice nahi di. X borrowed the firm's name. Can you held Y liable for this thing? Read example number 5 carefully and answer me why Y is held liable. आपने आंसर करने हैं आज सारी चीजें. आपको आता है ये लास्ट के 3 सेक्शंस. My water is also finished. हाँ जी. Yes, ma'am. Y will also be held liable. Principle of mutual agency. No public notice has been given. R को क्यों suffer कराएंगे? R will not suffer. It is protecting the third parties. R was not having knowledge of the public notice of the dissolution. Therefore, both the parties will be held liable to Mr. R. समझ आ गया? आगे चलते हैं. But there is an exception to the rule above. In deceased partner, do we need to give the public notice? No, ma'am. You told us in death of a partner, in insolvency, no public notice. And who is a dormant partner? You remember in sleeping partner case also, no public notice is required. तो वही है जो हम पहले भी पढ़ चुके हैं, रिविजन करा. Now, right of the partners to have business wound up after dissolution. वो कहते हैं पार्टनर्स के क्या राइट है. दीज आर द कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज ऑफ डिसोल्यूशन. कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज का मतलब होता है क्या होगा डिसोल्यूशन होने के बाद. डिसोल्यूशन होने के बाद क्या हो सकता है? नंबर 1, you have to pay off your liabilities to the third parties. Number 2, what are the right of the partners? So on dissolution, every partner will get the right to the property of the firm, payment of the debts, and surplus distributed among the partners. So what will you do? You will have the share of profits. First, the share of profits, whatever you have got, your capital contributions will be given back to you. Your liabilities will be, first of all, your liabilities will be paid off. Secondly, your capital contributions, and balance will be the share of profit. Surplus is the balance share of profit, which will be distributed according to your rights, means according to your partnership ratio that you have agreed in the partnership deed. Continuing authority for the purpose of winding up simply tells you all your rights and obligations till the date of winding up. You will still be liable for anything which is required to be done. And section 48 is very interesting. Examiner ने कई बार आपसे पूछा है, and इतना easy है ना बेटा section 48, जो आप प्रैक्टिकल करते हो ना, क्वेश्चंस भी लॉस आया, हमने इंटरेस्ट इतना दिया, कैपिटल इतना दिया, उसी के बारे में बता. Section 48 tells you mode of settlement, how the partnership accounts needs to be set off. So number 1, if you're having losses, अगर आपके loss हैं, तो how will the losses be paid off? They will be paid off first from the profits, then from the capital, and then personal liability of the partners. Okay, partners individually in proportion into, this is the liability, unlimited liability of the partners, remember. So if there are losses of the firm of rupees 1 lakh, and you have the profits 50,000. So first this losses will be recovered from the 50,000 rupees. Then balance 20,000. Suppose you have the capital, that will be recovered from that. So 70,000 done. 30,000, how the losses will be recovered? Each of the partner will be contributing from their personal assets. That is 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. समझ आ गया? Similarly, how the assets of the firm will be used. So now your firm has been dissolved. All the table, furniture, lighting, everything is getting sold off. You're selling off the assets and everything has to be paid back to the partners. But first the payment will be made to the third parties. Then whatever capital contributions they have made, and further surplus will be given at the rate of, on account of capital, relatable parties will be getting the share of profits. Is that clear? And the residue will be divided among the partners in which they were entitled to the share of profits. Let us see this example number 6. Very, very simple. X and Y are partners sharing the profits and losses equally. X died. So X died, death of a partner. It amounts to dissolution of the firm. It was seen that he contributed 6,60,000 to the capital of the firm, and Y has only contributed 40,000. Will it affect? It says mode of settlement of accounts. X has contributed 6,60,000. So the capital of X was 6 lakh. Y has only made a contribution of 40,000. And how much assets have been left? 2 lakhs. So what will be the deficiency? 6,60,000 has to be paid, 40,000 and minus 2 lakhs. So assets are only 2 lakhs. So 5 lakhs would be equally shared by X and Y's estate. Have you understood? We will pay X's capital back, then Y's capital, and whatever is the difference, it has to be divided by the partners among themselves. Agreement, the surplus assets will be divided according to the respective interest in the capital. A deficiency of capital was found, the assets will be divided in proportion to the capital. So X's estate will be the main loser because we are dividing it on the basis of the estate of the partners. Clear? And the last section, section 49 for today's is separate and joint debts. Now what happens at time is, this is also very simple. You will only answer me. Point number 1. If the firm has a liability of 1 lakh rupees and there are 3 partners, A, B and C, and A has also taken a personal loan of separate payment that he had to make was for rupees 10,000. So now the assets of the firm, it says the assets of the firm will be used to make the firm's liability first, and then the separate debts of the partners will be paid. It says assets of the firm, that is property of the firm, shall be applied ka matlab hota hai, shall be used for payment of firm's debt. And still, so if I have the assets of 1,20,000, so I will first pay 1 lakh rupees, that is the liability of the firm, and out of 20,000, then I will pay the separate debts of the partners. Similarly, the second point, separate property of the partners shall be used for the payment of his separate debts, and if any is left, then the payment of the debts of the firm. Say, for example, A has his own property of 5 lakh rupees. And A also has a debt means usko jo paise dene hai, 1 lakh rupees. And firm's liability is 3 lakh rupees. So how are you going to use the separate property of Mr. A, that is 5 lakh, will be used for making payment of 1 lakh first, the separate debt, and out of the 4 lakh, the balance liability of the firm will be paid off. So section 49, simply write down what I'm asking you to write. The assets of the firm shall be used to pay the liabilities of the firm first, and if any balance is left, it shall be used for the payment of separate debts of the partners. Similarly, the property of the partner shall be used. Similarly, the property of the partner shall be used to pay off the partner's separate debts first, and balance, if any, shall be used for paying the joint debts of the firm. Balance should be used for paying the joint debts of the firm. Ashnika Gupta, wound up means when you're closing the firm. So it says once the partnership has been dissolved, then whole of the business has to be closed. Now, children, we have come to an end of this chapter. I wanted to do certain questions also with all of you. One question paper we are going to solve, that is November 2022. But before that, we can also, have you done all the descriptive questions of chapter number 2? If yes, let me quickly take a test of yours. So I wanted to show you that previously we have discussed chapter number 1's descriptive question. Similarly, chapter 3 के तो आप कर ही लोगे, हमने आज ही revise करा है. So I want to show you these kind of straight away questions can come. The first question where he's asking the partner may transfer his interest in the firm. So it is simply asking you the answer with respect to section 29. You have to write all that sub partnership is created during the continuation of partnership. He cannot interfere with the accounts. He will only get his share of profits and what happens after the dissolutions. So rights of the transfer, transferee straight away section 29 के ऊपर question आ सकता है exam. The second question is also the straightforward question. You keep asking me, na, ma'am, what kind of questions come? Your study has itself told you what kind of questions can come. So minor का आया हुआ है section 30 सारा का सारा briefly आपने यहाँ पे explain कर देना. So let's read question number 3 and let's get the answers from you because you told me you have revised second chapter. So here is question number 3 in front of you as a test. XYZ and Associates partnership firm as senior partners were engaged in the carpet manufacturing and exporting to foreign countries. They inducted Mr. G, an expert in the field of carpet, as their partner. G was blamed for unauthorized activities and expelled from the partnership by united approval of rest of the partners. Tell me whether the action taken by the partners was justified or not, and what factors you should have kept in mind before expelling a partner. Now, examiner has himself told you what you have to think and write about. So question number 3, answer first will be all your points that are given under expulsion of partner. Everything needs to be satisfied. And point number 2 is also notice to be given and opportunity of being heard. Simple as it is. So let us just quickly see the answers, how you have to write because time is very less. So expulsion of a partner, all these 3 points that we have done in the beginning also. After that, he has explained you that they have expelled him on the basis of in good faith, provided he was served a proper notice, opportunity of being heard has been given, then expulsion is possible. And in the second case also, you have written the 3 points, expulsion must be, same चीजें वही दोनों points में पूछ रहा है, explain करना आना चाहिए आपको. ठीक है, अब चलते हैं क्वेश्चन नंबर 4 की तरफ. There are 3 partners. As per the term of partnership deed, A is entitled to 20% of the partnership property and profits. A retires from the firm and dies after 15 days. B and C are still continuing without settling the accounts. Explain the rights of A's legal representative. Remember section 37? If you are continuing the business without settling the accounts of the partners, what will be the consequences? Quickly tell me the answer for question number 4. Thank you, Mohammed. Even I enjoy teaching all of you. Thank you so much. Section 37, Section 47 निकल कर आ रहे हैं. ये खत्म कर लो, फिर doubts के लिए time दे दूंगी. पहले मुझे इसका आंसर दो. Together and profit, how it will work, ma'am? So, Gupta, what are you asking? Yes, 6% interest, you remembered. Others are still looking into the books. Very good. Tambeshwari, Rishita, Rani, Harsh, Akash, Tanvi. All of you have given the correct answers. So I hope this is clear. So I just wanted to give you a fair idea how the questions are going to come in the exam. And now, those who are still having doubts between section 47. Yes, Sakshi, क्या नहीं समझ आया section 47 में बेटा? Quickly ask whatever you want to ask so that I can take up that examination question also with you. Now you again want me to open section 47. Yes, second point and settlement. क्या नहीं समझ आ रहा बताओ मुझे. Section 45 clear हो गया सबको. 46 clear हो गया. Section 46 simply tells you what are your rights. So it says first point is liabilities will be paid off, public notice has to be taken care. Second point में right of the partners to have the business wound off means partners have the right to close the business, sell off the assets and pay off the liabilities. It is simply talking about your realization of assets and liabilities, nothing more than that. तो अकाउंट्स में याद है ना, रियलाइजेशन अकाउंट बनाते हो, उसकी बात कर रहे हैं. And 47 में it says continuing authority of partners means, Sakshi, if you have wounded up the firm, suppose on 20th February you have decided to close the business, but still your obligations till 20th of February will continue to complete the transactions unfinished at the time. So it is your duty to complete the affair of winding up of the firm. You cannot say that it will not affect the liability of the person. So if somebody has been considered insolvent, but his liability till the date he was not. All right, all right. I think again, student, there was some technical error at the end. I hope now you all can see me. Mr. Omkar, you can write your thought once again so that I can read it, because it's very difficult to find what you have written before. So what is the answer for this? So very good. You all remember appropriation of goods. You will write all the story and a certain goods. As such, 6 points you have to mention. Now let's go to another question which I want to ask you. So in between you have questions for companies also. You can ignore them. Can a partner be expelled? What factors? So since morning we have done this question twice and thrice. So all of you know question 3, 6 marks. It is now in your pocket. You know how to answer this one. Second question we are not doing because it is related to Indian Contract Act. Let us see more questions. Unpaid seller. What are the rights of the unpaid seller? You remember unpaid seller? Straight away question, 6 marks in your pocket. Indian partnership does not make the registration of firms compulsory, nor does it impose any penalty. Discuss what are the consequences of non-registration. As such, straight question about non-registration, children. All those 4 points you'll write, you'll get 6 marks. And also write the exceptions. You want to see how the study wants you to write the answer? This is how you have to write. Following are the consequences, although it is not compulsory, but these are the consequences. ये भी हमने आज ही दोबारा revise करा है. And these are the rights unaffected means these are the exceptions. So you have to beautifully write the exceptions also, then only you get the full marks. And here is your marbles question. Again, doctrine of caveat emptor, where sale has been made by sample or on the basis of description. Exactly, you have to write the answer in that very case. Let me see if any other partnership question that we can cover, because we have already done sale of goods question. So this is what all we had for partnership and co-ownership. See, such a simple question has come. For Indian contract, he's asking you innovation and alteration and difference between partnership and co-ownership. Do you remember what is the difference between partnership and co-ownership? Tell me quickly. The last question I have for all of you is, what is the difference between partnership and co-ownership? You all knew about these answers, so that's wonderful. That's the beauty of doing these questions. Akash Yadav, you simply have to go to ICAI.org and you can download on the link. It's given, all these questions are given on the institute's site itself. So you can simply go and see the suggested answers. So when you click on the suggested answers, you will see. You want me to show it to all of you, from where you can see these question papers? I can show you that also. So you simply go to the ICAI.org website. This is where your study material, everything is given. So these are your RTPs, MTPs. You simply have to click on the suggested answers, and here you open the question paper and it shows you what is written over there. All right. So Miss Madhu, I just showed you from where you can take these questions. Yes, good faith is important, Anuj Kumar, between the partners, then only it becomes possible. Any more doubts you have, please feel free to ask. We have 1 minute more. Very good. So you remember, no, it is not sub-partnership, Deepak Bhai. Ownership is when you're jointly owning the property. Sub-partnership is different. Refer to my previous lecture. Dipanshu, you can refer to the ICAI website for seeing the previous lectures. Wherever you're seeing my today's lecture, you can go to the portal and you can find the lectures date-wise also. Yes, good answers given by all of you. So thank you very much, students. I think we have resolved all the queries in between the session itself. Okay. So very well you have been preparing, and very nicely you have been patiently listening the teachings, as well as very nicely you all have been reverting to the answers. So remember to revise, remember to complete your notes. So if I tell you some important case studies, how you have to write the answers, for example, the registration question, example one that we have done from the study material today, I would expect from you that you should write in the notebook facts of the case, concern provision, and your answer according to that as well. Yes, Mr. Omkar, definitely Miss Dhoni has also had faced so much struggles, and he still achieved it all these things very nicely. So that is what we all have to follow, that hard work is the key to success. Without hard work, nothing is possible. But always remember that we can do it, and yes, we will do it should be your quote for entire day. But padhna to padega hi. Without studies, nothing will work out. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Divya. Thank you, Ashnika. Thank you, Akash. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, Mr. K. Manish, S. Sudhakar. Thank you, all of you students. Even I enjoyed teaching you, and I will be seeing you soon during company's acts. Thank you so much. Please keep revising and do well. Goodbye.